Hi, everyone. Welcome to The State of K-pop, a podcast where I talk about all things K-pop. The industry, toxic K-pop stans, comebacks, choreography, and everything in between from the point of view of a K-pop stan. Woo! Claps. Claps, 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 clap all around, clap all around. I bought these glasses literally because Yuno had them in ice on my teeth, and I can only wear them at the bridge of my nose because if I wear them I just can't put my head up. These are so cute. I love these glasses so much. You know, if an idol wears something, I will buy it and wear it. So, yeah, if you're discovering me for the first time, hello, my name is Indigo. I have been listening to K-pop since 2015, but I became a stan in December of 2020 because I saw one edit of Hyunjin on TikTok, and then I fell off the K-pop cliff into the never-ending K-pop abyss, and I keep going lower and lower. Every day, closer to hell? Are we in hell? If you're a K-pop stan, are you in hell? You tell me. But yeah, my number one group is Stray Kids. My number two group is ateez. Everything else is not ranked, but my top groups are Stray Kids, ateez, NCT 127, and Dream, BTS, and all other groups I listen to actively, but I don't stan. Like, I listen to TXT and ENHYPEN a lot. I listen to any group. I listen to all groups a lot. I'm more of a boy group stan. I really want to get into more girl groups, but I also like Blackpink. I've seen ITZY and Blackpink and NMIXX in concert. I love NMIXX. I've been getting into Twice a lot more lately. I used to listen to P1 Harmony a lot. And I don't anymore, which maybe that'll be a subject topic to talk about, but yeah, so that's a little bit about me. I'm 23 years old. I live in New York City. This is not a job interview. But yeah, so I'm going to say this is my first successful podcast, because I had one before. And we're not going to talk about that. That is null and void. But yeah, I did a video talking about my unpopular opinions, and I just wanted to do more like long form content like that, where I just like voice my opinions, because honestly, I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm like super intelligent and I do have amazing, like very deep opinions. What did Jaden Smith say? Like, why can't we just talk about the political economic state of the world? Like, I've been having very like political, economically, socially charged conversations with my friends, and I'm very intelligent, and my friend was like, you should make a podcast. And you know, I am the 1,000,000,001 person to have a podcast because I like to talk. I got this mic for Christmas, and I literally just felt the need to start talking. I literally just recorded myself talking. For me, a little treat for me. But yeah, like I do TikTok lives if you want to follow me there. But I just talk about a lot of stuff, mostly K-pop stans and how toxic they can be. YouTube video coming soon. But yeah. So let's get into it. This is great because sometimes I really forget what I'm going to say, and that is like the perfect combination for a podcast. But yeah, no, just thinking a lot about, you know, toxic K-pop stans. And I was thinking of this today because, so I don't know if you've heard, but unfortunately there was a plane crash. South Korea. I don't know if it was South Korean Airlines, but I don't know if the plane was coming to or going from South Korea, but I think it was like 179 people died. And obviously, because I think it was like the most deadly plane crash there was something where it was really, really, really fucking bad. Okay. So there was a plane crash coming into Jeju Island, South Korea. Unaliving 179 people. 2 survivors. That is so traumatic just so traumatic in general. But the whole country is in I don't know if it's a week-long or 2-week, I think week-long mourning period. So everything, concerts, events, all that stuff are going to be canceled or delayed from now until January 4th. My friend said South Korea has only had 3 periods of mourning in history, this being the third one. So I don't know if that's true, but really, 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 really bad. I want to say my heart goes out to all of the people affected. Um, I like, I don't know. I just feel like saying that like doesn't even like do anything. You know what I mean? But like that is like such an awful thing. And so obviously because of this, like, obviously everything is going to be, canceled and delayed because, this is a very tragic thing for the families and just for South Korea in general. And this is where I was like, yep, K-pop stans are so like fucked in the head and toxic because so the fact that I'm even saying this, this pisses me off so much because like guys, so I don't even want to say apparently because there were K-pop stans that were upset that like videos were getting canceled and postponed. And like in particular, I guess there were, which I'm not even gonna, if you're toxic, I'm not considering you a stay or an army or an engine or like a Mo or whatever. You're just in your own lane of weird. But I guess there was a stay or some stays that were like upset that Bangchan is most likely, like he was supposed to go live, but he canceled it. Most likely canceling it. And there were just stans in general that were upset that like stuff is getting canceled. And I'm just like, guys, I feel like some K-pop stans are so far removed from reality. The first thing you think of after people have been unalived and like people are going through really like such a traumatic experience is like, I'm so upset that Going 17 is postponed. Like what is like, here's the thing about the internet. Like I know parasocial relationships is really a buzzword, but it is so true. That and just the internet in general affecting us subconsciously and consciously in ways that are like so just messing us up to the point where there are people that are upset, not because, and have no empathy, not because of the thing that happened, but because, oh my gosh, we're not getting any content. Like you genuinely have to be so far removed and like not okay for that to be your first thought, and then for you to voice that on the internet. Like, and what pisses me off even more, like thinking about this with, the situation from NCT, people are so quick on the internet to like just be so unserious and make jokes and stuff. And I'm like, bro, what if people like, obviously you don't care, you don't have empathy for anybody. What if people who have been affected by this trauma see this and you trigger them even more and make them feel worse? Or also there are people that like, have not shared their stories, in the NCT case, shared their stories that have gone through something similar to that are K-pop stans, and you're sitting here making jokes about it, trying to make light of it. Like, you don't know what people have gone through, and then you open up a comment section, you see some of the most like disgusting people like making jokes about this, and I'm like, yo, what is wrong with you? Like, you have no empathy, you have no nunchi, you can't read the room in situations like this that are so serious. Like, it is just genuinely actually insane to me. And then also too, let's say Chan's room, for example, or Bangchan going live, let's say you're a stay, right? And you apparently are a fan of Bangchan, and this happens, right? And he is mourning, and South Korea in general is just mourning. Bangchan is Korean, right? I don't know if you know, Bangchan is Korean. So if you're actually a fan of him, you would respect this trauma, and you would respect, like, if you're a fan of him, if you're a fan of 17, if you say you're a fan of K-pop idols, like, you keep swearing up and down saying you are, and then you're upset because content isn't going out, you're not respecting them, you're disrespecting them. Like, you're not giving them the space to mourn and feel grief and feel all of these very real feelings. You're not respecting them as a person. You're not respecting South Korea. You're not respecting them as a Korean. You're not respecting them at all, because it's like, oh, but I want this. I want this. How about what they want? Like, bro, oh my gosh. listen, I'm not like a Rihanna stan or anything, but like, she's Rihanna, so like I listen to her and I do have Fenty Beauty. Um, but like people being like, I need Rihanna to come out with the next album. When's Rihanna coming out with music? When's Rihanna coming out with music? Rihanna come out with music. What about how Rihanna feels? Have we ever asked Rihanna how she feels? Like, it's really crazy to me how like as soon as you become famous, you are just a doll for what other people want. Like, it is just so insane to me. It's like, okay, well, if Rihanna's been making music since she's literally been fresh off the plane at what, 18, 19 years old, probably even younger, like teenager, making music for half her life, I don't know how much, but like a good portion of her life, and she just stopped making music, maybe it's because she doesn't want to make music anymore. Have we ever thought of that? Have you ever thought, since we're actual fans, right? Have we ever thought about what the person we're a fan of wants? Have we ever like thought about how, these idols want? Because also, once again, this makes me think of like how a lot of K-pop stans don't see idols as humans, and once again see them as dolls that exist for them. Like, S-Coops is a person first before he's an idol. I know these K-pop companies really want to convince you that these idols just literally suddenly just appeared from a cloud of smoke, from thin air, and they just became idols. Like, Han doesn't have any baby pictures. I know it's like a joke, but like Han doesn't have any baby pictures and stuff. And like when you're a K-pop idol, they literally want you to get rid of like every single trace of you from before you were an idol, every single trace of your life. And the whole thing with Rise and like the pictures getting leaked and stuff, because the K-pop industry is really trying to sell this illusion to you that these idols just exist for you. But I need you to know that these idols are people before they're idols. And while K-pop may be the only thing that like it's taking over your life, and like K-pop is like the only thing for you, like your entire life 24/7 revolves around K-pop and these K-pop idols, I need you to know that that's not how it is for idols, because they're clocking in to a job. This is a job. And I also understand like, a lot of people want to be like famous artists and singers and all this stuff, and like actors and stuff. And like this happened when I used to wrestle. Like a lot of people would have a lot of fun wrestling, which is amazing, but they wouldn't take it, I don't want to say take it seriously, but like they would like play around too much. And it's like, this is a job, like we are clocking into a job. So like I understand like it may seem fun, and I'm sure there are parts of being a K-pop idol that's like super fun, but like we need to remember that they are clocking in and this is a job, and they have existed before they were an idol. And when they stop being an idol, they will still exist after. That's how you know that they're a human first. So like for people to be sitting here and like disrespecting idols in general, and like being upset content isn't coming out, like you are not a fan. To me, the definition of a fan is somebody that wants the person to be happy and wants the person to be okay, like their well-being to be okay. If Stray Kids comes out tomorrow and says we don't ever want to make music again, of course I would be sad and upset. But if making music isn't making them happy, then I don't want them to do it anymore. You're a fan of somebody if you want them to be happy and okay. Like, you're not a fan of someone if you just want to control them and have them do whatever you want. And that's basically my point to the commentary video I'm coming out with. But like I said earlier, a lot of K-pop stans think that they're fans of idols when they're not. They just want to control idols. Like, I said this in a TikTok, but I made a whole list of like, you're not a K-pop fan actually if, it comes out that they're dating someone and you get like upset. Like, I forgot, I think it was a member of aespa who has like a dating rumor with like a member of ENHYPEN or something like that, and like they were like swarming her and like yelling at her. You're not a fan of aespa, and you're also not a fan of ENHYPEN, because if these two people are dating and have found love or whatever, or just like hanging out, that means, we're assuming, right? That means that they're happy. That means that they have found love and happiness and a connection in each other. And I would want someone I'm a fan of to experience that. So if you're sitting here and swarming a potential suitor of in hyphen, you're not actually a fan. You just want to control them. So I was like, that happened today. And I was like, yo, like, this just like proves my point even more. It's like actually insane. And, you know, speaking of more toxic K-pop stans, so I made a video talking about fan calls, and it's funny because that YouTube video will never not be relevant as long as fan calls are a thing. So my friend Joy, who got me into ateez, my 18 friend, was talking about how ateez has been doing fan calls for like the past 3 weeks, like for a minute now, like every day or every other day. Wake up, clock in, fan call, sleep. Wake up, clock in, dance, sleep. Wake up, clock in, fan call, sleep. Wake up, clock in, club, another club, bus, house, back, like literally. But like, so there is I'm not calling her 18 because she's not an 18. Once again, if you at any point are making a K-pop idol that you say you're a fan of feel uncomfortable, you're not a fan of them. But this one girl literally was clocking into fan calls like it was her job. I don't know how many fan calls she did. Somebody comment below, but it was too much. And it was to the point where San was like recognizing her and being like, yeah, I'll see you again tomorrow, right? Because you've been doing this every day. Oh my God. Oh my God. Me personally. Me personally. Oh my gosh. But bro, like, I've said this so many times, and so many stans have said this so many times, but like, we need to regulate fan calls. And let me tell you what I would do. So if I was the president of the fan call club, number one, we need to screen question. And I also just want to say, I've never been in a fan call before. I've never done a fan call before, so I don't know if they do this, but like, obviously they don't. What the hell? Obviously they don't. And like, you know, the fan call YouTube video I did where I was talking about like the good Lord, the Felix fan call and Vernon fan call. I don't know why Vernon and Felix seem to get like the most like weirdest, awkward, creepiest fan calls, but like the one where they've been called daddy before. There was one where I saw Hyunjin and I actually wanted to like throw my phone and like punch the person because she was like, can you call me mommy? Like, these idols are not character AI. They're actual people. And like, while you could type to character AI and make character AI do whatever you want, you can't do that with a person that has their own feelings and stuff. Like, idols do not exist for you to talk to them and live out your sexual fantasies. Like, that's not what this is. Really fucking disgusting to me. I get so heated. Thinking about that. But like, obviously the calls are not screened previously if these idols have these fans saying whatever they want, and making them feel uncomfortable. Apparently, which I did not see this because I do not scroll, but there was a fan call where I think somebody asked Han like about sleeping with Lino. I don't care if that was a joke. We do not actually know these people. I don't care if you know their blood type, the moon phase in the sky, the night they were born, and that they can only eat carrots on a Tuesday, and there's actually like they're allergic to like bracelets, but like they love rugs or some shit like that. I don't give a fuck. You don't know them. If you're not actually consistently talking to them like every single day and you're not friends with them, you don't fucking know these people. Once again, the fucking internet, parasocial relationships make us feel so comfortable to just like say whatever the fuck we want to like random strangers on the internet we've never met. Like, you would never in real life do this. You would never fucking do this in real life. And if you do, you're fucking insane. But like, you would never do this in real life. So it's just like actually insane that you felt comfortable enough to form that sentence in your brain and then say it out loud to someone. Like, that's actually fucking crazy. But like, obviously these questions and topics of conversation are not screened, and they need to be screened. We need to say before what we're going to say. And if a person lies and goes off topic, then you should be able to hang up. I think I saw a fan call. I think it was Mingyu that hung up. They should also be able to hang up. So screen the fan calls. They should be able to hang up. And offenders get banned. So after you say something disgusting and make the idol feel uncomfortable and they hang up, you should have been, I don't know how it works, but like enter your information, like enter all your Instagrams and your Twitter accounts and stuff like that, and like your first and last name and stuff, you are not allowed. You're banned from concerts. Not allowed to go to concerts. You're blocked on every social media platform. No TikTok, no Instagram. Like you, oh my God, the beautiful Instagram feature where it's like block this account and all other accounts made like from this email or whatever. Absolutely beautiful. Love that. Like you should not be allowed within the same vicinity of these idols. Your rights have been revoked. Your rights have been revoked. You have been demoted. Absolutely yes. Also, so I'm pretty sure the way fan calls work is that you have to buy an album, and the more albums you buy, the more chances you have. It's like a lucky draw, right? Where like, I don't know, if you want to win a flat screen TV, a 65-inch flat screen TV to watch Football Diva, you can purchase a ticket, and if you buy 70 tickets, obviously you're gonna have a better chance than the dope next to you who just bought one ticket. So I'm pretty sure like that's why you hear these people like, yeah, I spent $1,000 to get this fan call. Yeah, I like paid off. I paid the equal amount of a mortgage to get this fan call, because I'm pretty sure, I think you have to like something where the more money you spend, the higher chance you get. But I think it's like buying albums where you, like my friend did when she was in Korea, she did like, I don't think it was a fan call. I think it was like to get a fan meet or something, but she bought like a shit ton of albums because you have to buy, the more albums you get, the higher chance you have. Math. So if I was in charge, that's not how this works. You can only buy one album, and that's your one chance to make it fair. Because I feel like also too, like a lot of people are like, why is it that like there are so many crazy, or the if it's a scale from normal K-pop stan to toxic K-pop stan, it's more the stans over here that tend to like, you know, win these fan calls, because I feel like and this is, oh my gosh, I definitely think there's a correlation to, you know, people spending thousands of dollars to talk to somebody for 30 seconds to a minute and 30 seconds. I don't know how long fan calls are, to, you know, them really buying into a parasocial relationship even more. I'm not saying everybody who does fan calls are insane, because that's not true. I just had a mutual who won a fan call with Jungho, and it was one of the most cutest fan calls ever. She was super respectful. Like he was singing to her, they were kikiing it up. Like a lot of the fan calls are like super funny. Like people are very normal. Like you see Mark being like, what the girl, one and Citizen was talking about how she went on a date, and he was like, who'd you go on a date with? Him and Han. Who'd you go on a date with? Who are you dating? Oh my God, wait. Like, or like the stay talking to Bangchan being like, hey Lar, and then Bangchan was like, are you Australian? She was like, yeah, and he was like, I could tell in your voice. But like, I'm not grouping all people together, but I do think correlation absolutely does imply causation. Like the charts, the very popular chart made by mathematician Louis Shakespeare, the more you fuck around, the more you will find out. I definitely think there is correlation with the more money you spend. Like if you're spending $6,000 to win a fan call and buying 500 albums, I definitely do think you have a higher chance of being subscribed to the parasocial relationships more. Hello, hold on. The parasocial relationships more. So yeah, I feel like that would kind of weed out the toxic stans who feel more comfortable saying like crazy stuff, you know what I mean? And also, yeah, that would just give more people chances to win fan calls, because, you know, why is San talking to the same person 30 days in a row? Like, that's a little insane. That's also not fair to other people. Like, yeah, they absolutely do get tired of talking to the same people and getting asked the same like creepy questions. I'm sure ateez and Stray Kids and 17 and what other groups would love to talk to other fans. It's called a fan call. It's a way to connect with fans. Like fan calls just on paper should be amazing, but you know. So yeah, and after you win the fan call and get it, your information is entered into a system, and you cannot win another fan call for however couple of months or the next two comebacks, because once again, like, we're getting repeat offenders, we're getting the same people, and I'm sure if I was super famous and I'm doing fan calls, I would like to talk to different fans. So yeah, but here's my thing. I don't think they're ever going to regulate fan calls, because the crazy fan calls are the ones that like blow up and get so many views and make people know about these groups. Like, I'm sure I can confidently say that, you know, somebody has gotten into 17 because they saw a Vernon fan call and they're like, oh, who's Vernon? Let me go check out 17. And that's partly the reason why I know Vernon. Like, I think the first, like I heard of Vernon because of a fan call. You know what I mean? And now I'm a carrot. Like, that's the stuff that blows up and gets them exposure. And I do think that certain people that work in the K-pop industry are very any press is good press. And I've said this before, talking about how like people are so quick to shit on, like, I don't know, Division 1 or whoever takes care of Stray Kids, like the immediate staff, and just in general, people are so quick to shit on like the immediate staff that work with the idols. And while, yes, there are some staff members who have made very interesting choices and some staff members who do not have the best interests out for the idols, we need to think about, like, I'll use this example. Let's say you are a staff member and you have been working in JYP since 2010. Bangchan comes in, you like know him as a trainee for years, and then they put together a group called Stray Kids, and you are now working for Stray Kids. And, you know, you're like a manager, for example. You're buying them food. You're taking care of them. You're making sure they're okay. Sometimes managers live with the idols or near the idols. So, like, you see these idols more than you see your own family. Like, and also, too, like, if you're a staff member and you're, like, 37 and these K-pop idols are, like, 17, 18, these are your children, practically your children, and you're raising them. Like, there are... I don't know if this is true or not, but my friend told me that apparently, I don't know, somebody who's in charge of Hybe now, like one of the higher ups, has been working with BTS since like pre-debut. So like she's been with them for years. You know what I mean? Like, so these are family. So and you know, you feel how you feel about family, but for the most part, I really don't think that someone who is literally raising stray kids from when they were actual kids to like stray men, like, I don't think like a lot of the people that work like exclusively with them have their like worst interest out at heart. You know what I mean? Because also, like, if you're a staff member and you're like trying to sabotage your group, that's like also like you're risking your own job security. So once again, there are staff members who do not have the best interest out, but like I'm pretty sure like the immediate staff members that like work with these idols don't like actually care about them. So like when I'm saying that I feel like some, you know, people that work in these K-pop companies think all press is good press, that like might not give a shit about the idols as much, I am not talking about the people that like immediately are working with them. But like I do think there are certain people that work in the industry that like actually do not give a fuck about the idol and like, you know, their mental health and stuff like that. You know, like, yeah, it's just like, I don't know, I don't even want to speak on it, but like the shit that happened with a member of Vicha, I think that's how they pronounce it, like from what she was saying in the screenshots and stuff, like I won't get into it because like trigger warning, but like obviously there are some staff members who like actually don't give a fuck about the idols. But like I feel like if the people who are in charge or whatever of fan calls or whatever, if they actually cared about the idols, they would fix it and change it and regulate it, because all of these things like are not like rocket science to figure out and do. Like, you have millions of dollars, you can figure this out. And yeah, it's just like, if you actually cared about the idols, you would fix this, because you wouldn't want to make them uncomfortable. And like also too, like K-pop stans have been saying this for a while, like we need to fix fan calls. And let's not sit here and pretend that people in the K-pop industry, some of them, their job is literally to be on the internet, because K-pop and the K-pop industry is so fan based and fan focused that like if fans, don't like an idol being in a group, the idol will get kicked out. Like fans have too much power in K-pop. So like there are people and their job is literally to be on the internet every day and be like, what's trending? What is this group saying? What is this group's fan base saying? And I know that because we literally now have confirmation after the HYBE documents leaked, where there were literally staff member in HYBE that were literally looking up the most looked up fan fiction in K-pop, in the K-pop fan base. Like, what? But like that's literally their job. Like imagine getting paid to go on Tumblr. That's crazy. Anyway, so like they have definitely seen fans like complain about this and express like, hey guys, like it's obvious that the idols feel uncomfortable. You see the idols feel uncomfortable. Like if you really wanted to, you could actually do something and like change this, but you're not. All right. So I made a TikTok and it was like members of Stray Kids that I would like most likely fight. And it's obviously a fucking joke, right? And I was like, Bangchan, because like sometimes he says like cringe stuff. And as like a knee-jerk reaction, I'd be like, bro, like stop. And the fact that the comments were like, this is why Bangchan doesn't talk to us anymore. And someone DM'd me being like, you need to delete the video. Okay. Let me tell you something. And I feel like if you consistently watch my videos, you know what type of K-pop stan I am. I am not the one that's going to treat these 30-year-old men like they're 5. I am, and I said this, but I definitely also think correlation implies causation. I feel like the younger you are, the more sensitive you are to these idols, and, are not even sensitive, but the younger you are, the more you're going to treat these idols like they're young like you. And just because you're 14 and 15 does not mean Bangchan is 14 and 15. You know what I mean? And he's not like a ooh widow baby, whatever. Going back to the comment being like, this is why Bangchan doesn't talk to us anymore. I really had to laugh because Bangchan has never talked to you before. You don't know him. You've never had a conversation with him. So, parasocial relationship there. Never talked to you in his life. Never will talk to you in his life. So, 1, you're wrong there, and let's stop. And 2, and my friend brought it up, and I was like, that's such a good point. So, she's not a stay, but I'm a stay, and our other friend is a stay. So, like, she is an outsider looking in, and because you're an outsider looking in, you have less of a skewed point of view on things. And she brought up a good point. She was like, honestly, no, the reason why Bangchan doesn't talk to you guys anymore is because every time someone brings up this nigga's name, people overreact. Stays over fucking react and analyze everything and make people uncomfortable to talk about Bangchan. Like, bro, we need to be for real. Sometimes what he says is cringe. Like the pickup lines and stuff is cringe. Anyone says pickup lines, they're cringe. He literally cringes at himself sometimes. Like, hello? And then y'all, like, bro, y'all made me feel shitty for 2.5 seconds, but then I was like, I'm a bad bitch. Y'all are fucking annoying. Y'all made me be like, and hello, Bangchan is my bias. Bangchan is one of my biases. Like, I have so much respect for him as a leader, as a producer. Like, I want to work with him one day. Like, the fact that y'all made me feel guilty, and like the fact that y'all made me feel like, damn, can I even talk about Bangchan anymore? Like, that's why he doesn't interact with y'all, because y'all fucking overreact for everything, bro. That is not an actual problem. Y'all create problems out of nothing. Literally, there was a video of him and he was talking about how he has the lisp, and like some members like make fun of him for it, or some people make fun of him for his lisp, and then he immediately went, guys, you don't have to like attack anyone. And the comments were like, yeah, he knows we'll go to war for him because his friends make fun of him for having a lisp. That's insane. You're going to war over that. Like, the fact that Bangchan has to tell you guys to calm the fuck down. And going back to Chan's room, if y'all are saying, oh, me saying he's fucking cringe sometimes, or like makes jokes that are a little cringe sometimes, the reason why Bangchan's room got fucking like canceled or whatever, no, it got canceled because bitches were overreacting. So like, be for real. Like, if you have come, if you want, oh, pause. All right. If you want that type of K-pop stan that like coddles these idols and treats them like they're 5 when they're 35 and like fights for them and protects them over nothing and like overreacts, I'm not the stan. There are other stans that do that. Go find them. I'm going to treat them like they're 25 because they're 25. I'm going to joke about them. I'm going to make jokes about them, right? I'm not going to disrespect them, but I'm going to make jokes about them, especially jokes that they have fucking said. I'm going to make lighthearted jokes about them. And you know what's so funny? My friend was like, yo, and also like, this is a generalization, but like, there's another group that I'm a fan of, and I made the same video I'll just say it. It's ateez. I made a video being like, top 3 members of ateez I'd like fight. And I was like, Wooyoung. It's so funny. The lineup was like, it's you. I didn't realize until later. It was like Wooyoung, San, and Yosang. And guess what? No one was overreacting. Like, it's just very like, and here's the thing too. I realized this, you know, you like One Direction. I was a Directioner. I still am. But we grew up with them. Obviously, there are fans of One Direction that like come in and they're young. But like, we grew up with them. I feel like BTS too, which BTS is so big now. But like, I feel like a lot of BTS's fans are older because we grew up with them. I feel like these certain groups have an average age, like their fan base has an average age. And for some reason, I feel like Stray Kids' average age is really young. Like, I feel like the average age for stays is 14 for some reason. And I feel like Stray Kids, I feel like, and Hyphen, I feel like the average age for the stans are like a little bit younger. And I just feel like I said before, the younger your fan base is, the more reactive. And once again, they're obviously not every single, you know, teenager, but I feel like, speaking as a stay, like, the younger your fan base is, I feel like the more there's a higher chance that they're going to be the stans that are like fighting. Like, oh my God, I hate those fucking lives on TikTok where they like get K-pop stans together just to fucking complain and yell at each other. Like, here's the thing. I'm not saying when you're older, you become more mature, because I know 40-year-olds that act like they're in high school, but like, bro, I'm gonna go on a limb and assume that, like, I was scrolling, right, and there was one of those lives, and one girl was like, excuse me, aren't you the girl that said that Hyunjin is a flop and Stray Kids are flops? Like, I said, scroll. It doesn't matter. Like, Stray Kids is fine. Someone can say Hyunjin is a flop. Guess what? He's obviously not. Stray Kids is obviously not flops because they just consecutively got #1 on the Billboard charts for the 6th time. Like, I just feel like when you're younger, your emotions are heightened. So, and bro, it used to be me. I used to be that WWE fucking Roman Reigns fan that was like fighting bitches on Twitter because, you know, people were saying disgusting and like awful things about Roman. But like, you know, I feel like when you're younger, this is kind of like, I don't want to say all you have, but like, when you're younger, your life revolves more around fandoms versus when you get older and it's like, you know, you can't spend 12 hours a day on Twitter because you have a job. You know what I mean? Like, there are other things you have to like take care of. There are bills you have to take care of. There's other things you have to do. And I feel like also when you get older, generalization, but when you get older, for me, like when I was younger, I definitely was putting people on a pedestal and thinking that people were better than me just because they were famous. And I was seeking validation from a lot of people, including like famous people. But as I've gotten older, I realized these are just men. And also these are just strangers and we don't know them at all. They could be shitty people. They could be mean. They could be whatever. But like, we don't know them. I'm not ever going to sit here and defend somebody that I don't fucking know. I'm not going to sit here and, you know, jump on a fucking like grenade that I created myself just to start problems, just to fight people on Twitter. over a man that I don't know how they actually are. You know what I mean? So like just that correlation there, like I feel like sometimes, you know, when you're younger, and literally speaking from my experience, when you're younger, you're gonna be on the internet all day because like there's really nothing else that you can do, if that makes sense. Like for me, like I have the time to be on the internet fighting people all day, and it's like when you get older, you're like, okay, one, I don't know these idols, so I'm not gonna sit here and defend them. Two, I'm not defending them over nothing. And like three, like it's not that deep. You know what I mean? So I was just thinking about that with, you know, some stay and stray kids and stuff like that in that video. It's like very interesting. That's why I brought it up, because like I feel like ateez, ateeny, and like once again, like a generalization, but there are other groups, fandoms that I feel more comfortable in, because if I feel like a lot of ateenies, or the ateenies that I've seen, like they joke around. Like it's a space to joke around and have fun, because we're not taking this seriously, because this is not serious. You know what I mean? Like I did not get a single comment under that ateez video being like, you shouldn't say this about Young and blah, 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 whatever. Like, and also I know the members would be like, yeah, no, I would fight. Bro, literally, like Young be biting people. And the members are like, bro, stop. Like when Young did Aegyo and they all got up and were like about to punch. Like, I don't know. I also do feel like ateenies have a older average fan base than other groups. So I also do think that there is correlation there. And you know, once again, I feel like if you made it this far into the video, you're not going to be the stands that are like comparing. Why are you comparing ateez? Why are you comparing stray kids? But like, this is my experience. I am a stay and I'm an ateeny, and that was literally the experience that I had. So yeah, I just feel like certain fandoms, like the fandoms are more, or the fan base is more chill, and like, you know, you can joke around more and have more fun, because this is about having fun, guys. Like K-pop, while it is something that is like super fun and interesting to get into, it is like a hobby. Like it's just an interest, just like how Marvel is an interest, just like how Star Wars or football is an interest. You should not make it your entire life and your entire personality, and you should not have it be above you. Like you need to have a balance, because these idols have a balance. Like I said in that video talking about bitches freaking out when Karina had that, you know, dating thing or whatever. Like a lot of toxic K-pop stans think love is transactional, and think like when we need to ban trucks, but sending trucks to SM being like, is our love not enough? That's not what love is. Love is not, I do something for you and I expect something in return. Love is accepting and admiring somebody for who they are. Love is not a transactional thing. If you're doing something to get something in return from somebody, that's not love. That's a business. That's a business transaction. So one, no. Two, how are you not understanding that? And also, this might be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think you can love somebody if you don't know them. You can be a fan of them. You can love their work. Like a couple months ago, I was like, I can't really love Stray Kids. I don't know them. I love their music. I love their content, but I can't love that. Like, I'm a fan of their music and their content. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really love Karina. You don't know her. Like, you can love her voice. I love her voice. I love her dancing. Karina, if you're watching this, please message me. Let's go on a date. Like, you can love aespa and their music and stuff like that, and like whatever they stand for, choreography, styling, or whatever. But like, you don't love them actually. And also, you need to realize that like, saying is our love not enough is comparing like romantic love to like somebody loving your music. Those are two different things. So love is not transactional. Love is not that. Love is two different things. It's just like, bro, who found out about sending trucks? Who found out about sending trucks? Because it's like the worst thing ever. When people were sending trucks after Chan's room, and Bangchan was like, oh, Bangchan is so funny. Bangchan is like, You know what I also don't like? When people think they're helping out, but they're actually making situations worse. I was like, that's so funny. But like, yeah, like with the whole dating situation. Also, these certain K-pop stans that have made K-pop their entire life, that's not how these idols are actually in real life. Like I said earlier, it is a job. They're clocking in and they're clocking out. So Karina is not, you feel betrayed because you have made K-pop your entire life. And there's obviously an imbalance there, because while you have made your entire life is surrounded by this one person, their entire life is not surrounded by you. So you feel like they have done you wrong, but it was never that way in the first place. And it was never, you should never make somebody else your entire life. Your life should be like based off of you. You know what I mean? So like, you know, Karina and other idols are not sitting here thinking about you 24/7, because you are not their boss and you don't control them, and that's not how it should be. Like, these idols are not being like, okay, how would they like this and how would they like that with every single decision they make. Once again, they are idols, but they're also humans first. And an idol is just, that's their job. So, ciao, yeah, all right. I think I'm going to end it here because it's been long enough. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the state of K-pop. And once again, I will be having more, if I didn't say this already, I'm going to be having, you know, guests on here and friends on here to just talk about K-pop, because dear Lord, there's so much to talk about. But comment below your opinions and all that stuff. And once again, if you've watched this entire thing, first of all, thank you so much. But I feel like the K-pop stans I attract on here, because I, you know, am not putting idols on a pedestal, and I talk heavily about like the problems within the community and stuff like that. I feel like the type of K-pop fans that watch me, I have fostered a certain community where like we're not like fighting each other, and like we're listening to each other's opinions and stuff, and like, and having like conversations and not yelling at each other. So like, yeah, let's keep this comment section very, you know, chill and normal. But yeah, okay, see you guys in the next video. Bye.